Our ancestors evolved from a system of healing that was rooted in wild and abundant medicinal plants and fungi. In the West, we now have seen a rise in the pharmaceutical industry, where medicine is now often of a chemical nature. We often forget that many of these chemicals and these compounds were isolated and derived from plants and fungi. So we've advanced the science. We now isolate these compounds, and we believe these to be to identify the active constituents from wild or from native natural ingredients. So often there's a notion that medicinal plants are still kind of quite primitive in a sense, so that we no longer need to have this whole plant material. We can throw away the rest of it and we have this compound, this chemical. However, herbalists have long understood the complexity of plant chemistry. Medicinal plants often contain many hundreds of active compounds, often working in a synergistic way. This is what we call network pharmacology. So network pharmacology is a concept still emerging in science. And this is really where it's a remarkable phytochemical complexity in which some of these actions, when taken apart from their natural order in the plant material, they are lost, or they often become changed, these actions and these outcomes in terms of the herbal properties. So this notion around whole plant extracts and whole plant material used in medicine, as opposed to the quest of modern science to identify these pure compounds and these chemicals in plants, when we start to understand that this sort of nuance in medicine, in herbal medicine, as opposed to how science is trying to sort of uncover the way that these things work, we start to see that there's still a real importance in having that deep understanding of herbal medicine as nature intended in whole plant extracts. Our ancestors thrived alongside the native flora. In the West here now, we are so far from, probably of all cultures, one of the farthest away from our heritage of medicine and our heritage connection to the natural world around us. And therefore, I believe that a reawakening of practice in herbal medicine, both in the communities, with clinical herbalists leading the way, but actually with people having the knowledge and empowerment to treat themselves at home for simple conditions using herbs that grow around us, the abundant weeds that grow around us. I believe that this offers part of a solution to reconnect us to our living ecosystems and to our environment. With this restored connection, understanding, and recognising that we are part of that ecosystem and the gifts of that ecosystem through our knowledge of its ability to heal us, we also improve our understanding of, but also our care towards the planet. So it's, there's definitely a place for herbal medicine, and I think the point is, how do we integrate that into our lives meaningfully, especially when there's a whole and a very important point to make around sustainability, because with the rise in the use of herbal medicines also comes the problem of wild harvesting and the sustainability issues that can be definitely very prevalent in the herbal industry, particularly the supplement industry. So my whole approach to this is about really focusing on what's growing around us. And we've got, if you're a gardener, you'll know all about weeds, you'll know about the problem of weeds. If you're a herbalist, then your idea of weeds and your kind of feeling around weeds is going to be completely different to that of somebody who is looking to keep a well-maintained garden. And that's because a lot of these wild medicines, these really common and really abundant species of plants that grow everywhere, are massively medicinal, and they have a huge potential to heal our bodies. We're talking about nettle, dandelion, cleavers, plantain or ribwort plantain. There are so many examples of these plants that, if you stepped out your door onto the street or out onto a garden path or a country lane, you're going to see these plants growing everywhere. and they have very few issues in terms of sustainability, which makes them very good choices for healing. So that's my wrap for today.